the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP government and are born introduce Ghana card as other countries be to say La Côte d'Ivoire no near the say ope say you who say oh citizen first of all you baby say card say you card no e de kire o man pa na di adanse say oh La Côte d'Ivoire citizen eno ne ade na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nso the special one about Ghana na your friend Ghana card na ye be kai the purpose enam so nti the Ghana card no na obi anim se eba beboa oman Ghana nanso NDC awanyuko ne de na won se enya ade se no beboa ne na aboa etena nti edu ba bi kura won eka kire members ne se ma onkoye Ghana card ne etena akire yi na won eka kire om se ampa won atena se ehun se Ghana card no ebeboa nti NDC amanyuko ne member bia enko na onkoye bi na eno and our former president, John Dramani Mahama, so the Ababetu Igase. First, na Ojene say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Nsem now cast for Ghana card no who say umpo betimi de tukwan enomnia de ade na oni ni bat enedi ampa wagye de say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia card no ubetimi de tukwan unya problem bia no wie ena ode etu dwa se osre Ghana Immigration Service se obi ekuta ne Ghana card na oba bepie mu e wo border ne so a osre o ma Ghana Immigration Service ehu se di okura Ghana card no a good implementation any adanse so ye Ghana ni ampa na obi wo ha okopie mu e wo border ne so a impo se ye bema ne chance kra no atimi akọ other country no na ye bo achi bi meanwhile enipa ne nso ekura Ghana card edi adanse se ampa me ye Ghana ni nanso still ni e deny no access ne no na John Dramani Mahama se be bia du one Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia eya adwene se ukuta Ghana card unya akwanya so betimi de tukwan akoba bia etese de Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia editu dwa no yenko tie John Dramani Mahama ewa bro de sansem we etu edwa
na yenya across the border ya Ghana for and so te Côte d'Ivoire asase so ensunechi na te na ni okan no se emre bia be bia yetete ye jiji musika emse mesre na maka if you say immigration for ankasa energy too mu owura Bawumia say Ghana card ultimate the two kwan ekwa abrochirempo we ni abrochirempo we asase so ha ya twanso aba na ye ji esika yesi ya the Ghana card mpochira Ghana card no enye adwuma enti immigration for mo tienia mesremu Ghana card no yetimi the two kwan enti omo ba no mo chere Ghana card e chere so mo ye Ghana for e wo say mo bie kwan na omo timi ba enti
so President Mahama took over because we didn't want to create a constitutional vacuum, and so he took over from his boss President Mills. Now I know that while the work was going on, the CRC work was going on, the vice president was in the picture. He was not outside the picture. The vice president was in the picture. He now becomes president. What happened to the white paper? That's the question. As for President Mills, Osebo, and Ghana for a money to me, say a mouth to me, and no deal the boss. So, Sebi, Nakupon friend say, why you what a moody? Now the ticket. That I'm talking about the ticket. So this ticket is President Mahama going to now tell anybody that or no as a human being and as an individually he didn't believe in the review of the constitution? If that is the case, you come and tell Ghanaians that he, Mahama, John, did not believe in the CRC. That is why when he became president, he decided to ignore it. You should come and tell us that story. That's the story some of us, that's the question some of us have been asking. And I think when you do home pet Mahama Sem, and not time Mahama, and not a bitter. Kwame, let me say today, and I hope that your media and I trust Peace FM online. Now, I am not bitter about some elections that they say called 2018, and I trade said yes, and I'm bitter. I'm not bitter about that. Neither am I bitter at all. But if there should be an iota of bitterness, it is from the Republic of Ghana that as a Ghanaian, as somebody who worked hard for us to win in 2008. And let me just also state for the record that Kwame, the 2008 victory, it didn't start one day. It started a long time. President Mahama, you became running mate sometime in July of 2008. So I and I'll be a vice president. This CRC, a very critical look at today, 11 years, President Mugabe, 11 years. After Ghana, and now here, that is why people say the constitution must be reviewed. And then here, if Ghana Bar Association say the constitution must be reviewed. Or I see OSPC, constitution has challenges. Or I speak about the constitution has challenges. So, at the end of the day, we had a certain process. So my question is, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you want to become president of the Republic of Ghana again. I cannot stop you. I don't have that power to stop you from becoming. I cannot. I have only one vote. But the question that I will ask you, as a Ghanaian, as a Ghanaian, I saw your former boss start a certain process of reviewing the 1992 Constitution to align it with modern trends of governance. Kwame, last minute this and come away. Meka me fanto ho mienu and then mesa yebio. Banku eya eto a president, ne vice president, omu tua tuo Ghana ha ye wo ele. Omu de ne. They don't pay taxes on salaries and emoluments.
But because almost salary no. As you should do me the be my say woman sacred because so we are even a MD of Tor Tama oil refinery. Enya dwuma the salary about 70,000 to 80,000.
That one is debatable. Now, some of these entities are income generating entities and they are corporate entities. The laws and statutes that incorporated them are different from this broad public service that the president is engaged in. Because if you are tall boss,
lest I forget. Mami, as I deal with me, who say can grant their court.
Yes.
Now, say, who are public service? They say they're okay. Yeah. Be it president or whoever. Now, Sebia through abatompo and their pension, wama emoluments, ni all other things that goes with it. Now we are. We betimia variety with status as a pensioner into public service by way of Sebia may restage come back. Abe president, me president we are me say public servant. Means I can quite their court a matter of subjudice. But maybe we are major adventure.
Good. Hasn't the matter been ruled on? I think that Ken Kwanchi thing has been ruled on.
No. According to Ken Kwanchi, was see.
Yes.
The way your application. Exactly. That's
wonderful. Okay, but we can still discuss it without questioning the judgment of the court. So let's discuss it. It is true. So that is where you have the letter and the spirit. So Ken Kwanchi is trying to test the spirit of the letter, because in the letter, maybe I can get my ex gratia after 4 years today. So I'm a former president, but because the Constitution says that I can go, or I have the capacity to have another 4-year term. It's after swearing. Okay, it's after 2 4-year terms. And I want to mean Kobium. But inside or embedded in that 2 4-year term is another lacuna, another issue, which I raised about 4 or 5 months ago at a certain forum. When we said, as a no video no sound as if a no but Mesa can Esisudia was this very powerful platform. Anything. So to answer your question, what pension? When you're ex gratia, because constitution now go ahead say sambre biumbo, inti wo sambre bium. I know they won't to by the letter won't to but the same constitution, Kwame, the honor and common one, the same constitution says that, and I believe that after you have sworn the oath of office on 2 occasions, you cannot come back. Now, you can be president only twice. The constitution may not be explicit on what twice means, but I am interpreting it as a layman in Ghana.
And the young can say maybe it's shrouded in ambiguity.
Good. It is that ambiguity that we have to look at, and I think that that's what Ken Kranti was trying to look at, and which Ghanaians now must look at. Let me say, Kwame. So you can take the oath of office twice. In the letter, it says 2 times. But the question is that, Kwame.
Say a consecutive. And now
two consecutive. No, I don't think it's even 2 consecutive. It's 2 times.
2 times.
So you can come and go and come back. But once you've done it twice, Magana ya carry. But then talking about the 2 consecutive terms, that is where the issue is now for some of us as we are discussing Ghana. And we say on the 24th of July, 2012, President Mahama held onto the sword of state and swore the presidential oath. That's the first one he swore. On the 7th of January 2013.
And so now, my Mr. Question, say a boss say, President Mills, ni baby koye.
Good.
And now, also a D 6 months, me patcho me boa. And now, 2012, no can say uncontested be moi. Ni status in Kawaii DA.
Some ex-president. So that is where the law itself is subject to all kinds of interpretation. Because then the argument I was making now is that, so if Rawlings swore back to back and never came back again, President Kufuor swore back to back.
2012 no odinadwuma ba wieye ebra osi President Mills anemu no na oye ex-president.
Ex-president, thank you.
Ena wasan edi akonya no owini ye no sa eba up to 2016. Ena 2013.
Yes.
No obaye president. Ena 2016 wasan ye ex-president.
Thank you.
It was ex-president mienu.
Twice.
Okay.
Not only that, because President Mills who ye no. Yankase President Mills in Tamna Okaye no. Benante sa ntamu mu na fa ye na adwuma na atoa so no. Debi ye de afra no hye wo nsa. Se wo kasa ntam kese no. Edru wo so. So you are now the president and commander in chief of the Republic of Ghana. You are not finishing President Mills' 5-6 months na akano. Even though you are his vice president, we are swearing you in as a new, of course, that is why as the new president, he had the capacity to change policies. And he did. He changed all kinds of policies, including CRC here. Sabi, one month is one year juma. Why did they make a court say, I don't want to ask you? It was because as the new president of the Republic of Ghana, the constitution allowed him to take his decisions. So he took his decisions independent of the decisions of President Mills. So you have been president twice, you've sworn the oath twice. So now, given this scenario, if he becomes president again in 2013, assuming he becomes president again in 2025, so he will be swearing the oath of office for the 3rd time. Now, if a citizen now takes the constitution to the Supreme Court and says, Supreme Court, we are in violation of our own constitution, and that the sitting president is an unconstitutional president, what happens to the Republic of Ghana? And I'm sure that is what Ken Kranti was trying to test. I don't know. I don't know how he weathered it. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm saying from the commonsensical point of view, and because common sense runs this whole world anyway, this whole legal and religious things are human constructs.
Even history of common law, actually, yes. 1066, and one conquer British minor. From baby na omo no omo say okay wo mo pe bibia omo de bebu man no e no omo say okay mo no ade we no emra mo de ebu ho yese we yesen enti wo mo gada ni nyina what came to be known as common law.
Yeah,
say obo ade nyansam mu de no omo de rule o man no e no omo kan ni nyina bo mu enti is in the right direction.
I think that Ghana operates under our legal system. We also use the British common law system as the underpinning, one of the underpinning foundations of our own legal system.
Hybrid of the American and then the British system, yeah.
Well, that will be the constitution, which is a hybrid. But in terms of the common law...
constitution, yeah, sure.
Yes, that's the hybrid. But in terms of the common law, I think it's the British common law as a British, what do you call it, colony. It's purely the British common law, but it's a constitution which is the hybrid of the British parliamentary and the American presidential. So back to your issue on the CRC.
Mm-hmm.
So to step the things in proper perspective. So the CRC started its work under President Mills, work completed under President Mills, white paper issued under President Mills, then President Mills passed. It wasn't the NPP that took over. It was the same NDC government that continued. Of course, a new president, Vice President Mahama becomes president, and he's able to appoint a new person as vice president in the person of His Excellency Pakweshi Enisa-Atta.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a government running. So, like I was saying earlier on, so now under the RTI, you and I, as individuals, can now go and use the RTI and now make inquiries to the requisite state agencies to ask the questions. And I think that now that you keep raising these things, the Holy Spirit has just dropped it in my spirit. If you or your media group, because I will need a media group to partner me, but let's ask the question: what happened to the CRC? It is the white paper, because all these people who are talking about the need for a review of the Constitution, they are right. But the question is that, are we going to set up a new commission again?
Mm-hmm.
And Obisa says, so we will, in this request under the RTI, we will want to know. And Amika said, even Jim Mensah, my own friend Jim Mensah, those days IEA, she was representing civil society. She was a member of this CRC. My own brother, Raymond, he's at the law faculty, on the faculty of law. He's alive. He is there. Scott Plummer, who is a Supreme Court judge, is there. So people are alive. Not everybody is gone to our maker. So we can ask, if not the individuals, of course the individuals can recuse themselves, but we can now go to the institutions and now demand from Parliament, if this CRC came to you, Parliament, can you tell us via the Hansard the discussions that took place at the time it came, or it was not discussed at all? Kwame, and my gut feeling, what I know from inside sources is that there was a complete orchestration for Parliament not to look at the matter. Because why? If the whole thing, you see, and that is why our democracy is going into a dangerous ditch. And it's saying, Kwame, President Mills sought to curtail lots of powers of he himself as president, and it would have affected people down the line. Who are so now I pay to me. And you two reports no quene yes matter. So no pay to me, I pay to me. And at that time, NDC, we had clear majority in that parliament. It was in 2016 when we lost miserably that the NPP came to beat us. So in that 2013 to 2016 parliament, what did and of course, my own younger brother or colleague Haruna Idrisu must have been minority leader at the time. The good old Professor Michael Quay was then Speaker of the August House. Chairman Sabunsu was then minority leader. So there are people that we can ask questions. CRC about Parliament. Say I'm about Parliament. Say about Parliament. And Kwame, my fact tells me, or what I know from very reliable sources, is that CRC report white paper the Parliament and a Parliament for Nankasa. A Kaditino, a Sham, Young far away in Neduma. Sometimes we won't family baby. So when some of us are saying we go, but in your starting them, say on minor ben nanti, quantum point this one. Can you baby, baby? I say,
yes, Adiano, Akoka Parliament, Ama.
Our parliament, oh baby, our parliament is somewhere in parliament. But then it means that in 2015, when it went into that parliament, who was the president? Who was the minority leader? Who was the majority leader? Who was the speaker? So parliament, we must be looking at parliament. They shouldn't hide behind anything. So we will now write to parliament and ask them, what happened to the CRC white paper in this parliament of the Republic of Ghana?
Kogu, Mami Fausia, na asem way ye baby sir.
Thank you. I'm happy for your commitment this morning. Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Kwame, Nakupon Shirawo, producer,